All right, everyone. Julian Castro's brother, Joaquin Castro, he dumped a list of big Trump donors from Texas, and it's not going over so well. See, the thing is this. When you dump a list of people and like their personal info, it may be publicly available information, but when you compile it and put it there to a crowd of people that you know are going to react in a certain way, that's called dog whistling. And if this were to, like, if Trump were to have done this to, like, Bernie Sanders donors or something, the Castro brothers and all the other people on the left would say, well, Trump is trying to start violence. He's trying to get people killed. He's trying to censor people. He's being a tyrant, basically. I don't hear those same people saying this about the Castro campaign. Now, the funny part is, of course, Julian Castro, I said very early on, was one of the more viable people there. Because of his speaking skills, his age, and his background, I think that he would be a viable contender for the presidency. This sort of slimy politics, while it's laudable in the sense that it works, certainly, I'm sure people were mass calling those Trump donors, as a form of citizen activism after a political fashion. As long as it doesn't get to the point where you're, threatening people credibly or harassing them, like calling them 10 times or something. I don't really have the problem with that material being disclosed because, it's legal. There's no law against it. It's against Twitter's TOS. It's funny because Mitch McConnell's official campaign got locked on Twitter for reposting like a video where someone was threatening Mitch McConnell. But then Joaquin Castro, he hasn't been deplatformed for this. It's really funny because InfoWars was basically depersoned off of the internet for similar things, supposedly. That's ongoing. There's a reason you haven't heard much about it. It's because Alex Jones is going to come out smelling like a rose, I think. Since he'll face no repercussions because he didn't do anything illegal, now it's going to be very interesting to see them try to justify continuing to deplatform his little media conglomerate. That's what I think will happen. Anyway, I don't see them getting banned. Why is Joaquin Castro not getting banned? If this behavior were demonstrated by someone on the right, they would be banned off of Twitter. Very, very quickly they would be banned. Now, Trump is saying, oh, we already reported the tweet, so maybe they'll take it down or something. They're like, well, it's free speech. We can post it. It's publicly available. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. It's also a political dog whistle. Trump hasn't really done stuff like this. Some of his fans have, and it gets called out, and usually people get banned for it. My thoughts are sort of twofold on it, though, because I don't think it should be disallowed. If it is publicly available information, and there is no explicit call to illegal activity, like, haha, call these people up and threaten them, haha, go and leave shit on their doorstep. If there's no explicit call towards criminal behavior, it is simply a compilation of publicly available material. Understood, accepted by me, should be legal, and shouldn't even be against the TOS. But we must understand that it is a dog whistle, and since there are standards on these tech firms with regards to that behavior, they should be applied evenly. We've got the Trump admin right now creating an executive order to try to tackle, I guess, an executive action of some kind to try to tackle tech censorship against conservatives. Now, of course, it's not just conservatives. I've said for a while, it's not about politics, it's about money. It's about stamping out independent content creation, and it's specifically aimed at the right more in order to cause chaos and get at least half the population to accept it. The idea is as long as you target it mainly towards the right and only snipe a few of people off on the left, the big tech firms, you can keep most of the liberals on board with the censorship. It's a really funny mind trick that you can pull on people. By trying to break people apart into different groups, you can always have people to support even the most shitty and draconian actions. The most obviously anti-American, unconstitutional, unconscionable, fascistic actions will be defended by the left as long as you present it as being aimed solely at the right. Again, these imaginary left-right dichotomy teams that they've concocted in order to help control people's minds. Anyway, with regards to this, no, the tweet shouldn't be taken down by Twitter or something, but again, be even-handed in the application. They haven't been. That's by design. It's to give the illusion that they're political rather than that they're just money-grubbing corporations. If Twitter and Google and all these others come off as money-grubbing billionaires that want to stamp out independent competitors, 99% of the population will oppose their censorship. But if it looks like they're just being partisan, hey, we're progressive or something, half the population won't care. It becomes a partisan issue. Then it becomes an issue of dealing with a locked down Congress that can't get anything bipartisan done. People are saying, well, it looks like we'll have bipartisan gun control. I'll take that bet. I don't think that you'll see that actually happen. Red flag laws, maybe. They'll get shot down by the courts as a throwaway piece of bait for the center leftists that might vote for Trump re-election. It's basically what that boils down to. And yeah, it's very, very funny to see, again, constituents of Julian Castro being targeted literally by his brother here. And it looks like Cernovich made the claim that Hispanic Trump donors were left off the list. I haven't seen direct corroboration, but I can believe it. I can believe that probably happened. They certainly, trust me, the Julian Castro campaign does not want to accidentally end up in a news report about how some Hispanic shop owner who donated to Trump was being targeted by racist Julian Castro supporters. And most people who are racialists, they support the Democratic Party. Of course they do. What do you think fucking Al Sharpton is? What do you think these people are? It doesn't matter if they're non-white. The idea that you can only be racist if you have institutional power, bullshit. Not what it means. You've had your mind fried. You spent too much time reading the wrong things at that point. You didn't spend enough time reading in general. You just read, Maoist leaflets or some stupid shit like that. World socialist websites. It was funny, did you see that Democratic Socialist get-together there? They're like, oh, point of privilege, and they're doing jazz hands, stupid shit like that. It's like, yes, you're comrade, you are leading the revolution against hate and evil. It was just like the cringe fest. At first, I couldn't even believe it was real when I first saw it. Julian Castro should go and address them. It seems like being a socialist, with the caveat of it being totally democratic, you vote us in before we mass kill people. Whereas normal socialists, they kill their way into power. You vote us into power, and then we start killing. That's basically Bernie Sanders' socialism. Or Nicolas Maduro's socialism. He's a democratic socialist. It'd be funny to see these people be more honest, because half of them now, they don't have a problem with saying that they're like democratic socialists now. Or at least social democrats. Big difference. Yeah, we want way more welfare, much more taxation, public ownership of this, that, and the other thing. But we're not actually socialists. Don't you fucking use that term. Yeah, it's like someone's like, yeah, I hate all minorities and I want only people of my race to be able to be in this particular area. But I'm not racist. Fuck you for using that evil term. It's really funny to see the splitting hairs. The linguistic propaganda. Oh man, I can't wait to ream the New York Times for their fucking linguistic tricks. Oh my god. That's about all. Peace out.